Welcome back. So today's video is about the 5 tips that you need to be a successful student athlete in your classroom. I know this is a touchy subject because I know that most of us want to play pro, and I know at a young age it's also really hard to focus on the academics because you feel like you have to invest yourself in your sport. But I assure you that your degree that you get is literally the best thing you could ever get in your life. You will need it whenever you stop doing your sports, whether it's at 25 or 40 years old. One day of your life you're going to stop playing your sport, and you definitely need to have a degree to fall back on. Like, I grew up around players that really invested their time into their sports and kind of neglected their academics, and I think it's really bad because that could really close doors whenever you get to the college or university level. So I would definitely suggest you to follow those tips. And yeah, the first tip that I have is to be organized. So I know it sounds a bit funny, but it's really important that you are organized. For example, like, I use the Google Doc with my supervisor, and it's really helpful. Like, from the second I get all my syllabuses, she helps me put all my homework that I have to do and all my exams into the Google Doc. By the way, I'm not getting sponsored by anyone. This is purely to help you. So the Google Docs, really, they could give you notifications, and it's really a good way to have everything in the same space. What is great about Google Doc is that you could also not only use it for academic purposes, but you could literally use it for your everyday, day-to-day tasks that you need to do or places that you need to be. So my second point is that you need to get a routine. Like, for me, what I really found helpful last semester was to have classes all at the same time. So I would ideally start either at 10 or later. That way I know that I need to go to bed around 10 or 11, for example, if I have still homework to do. And then my practice slot is obviously always the same time, and that way I could get my workout in and eat at the same time, which gives me enough time before practice. And I think that if you get into that routine and that mindset of always doing the same thing at the same time, like, the days that you can't follow it, you're gonna feel off. And I think that's really good because it makes you disciplined. Like, if one day, for example, I couldn't do my homework because I had a lot of course load, I would feel off. Like, I would feel like I need to do some extra stuff and extra workouts later in that night. And I feel like that just pushes you to be the best version of yourself. The routine is really good, especially when you're on the road, because I feel like you miss a lot of schools, and I feel like you know what you're supposed to get done in that day. And even if you're not in class, you have to do this math homework, let's say on Tuesdays, and it's Tuesday and you haven't been in your math class, but you know that you're supposed to do that on that day, and then you get the work done and you don't miss any homework even though you're not in class. So the third tip that I would like to give you is to be proactive. So if you know, for example, that you're going to be traveling a lot, you need to start contacting your teachers early in the semester. You need to let them know that you want to have good grades in that class, that you're willing to put the effort in, but you're going to miss a lot of classes. And every time that you miss classes, you need to reach out to them and tell them, oh, what did I miss in class? Or just make friends too. That's a good one. You need to make friends in class that can help you catch up with the work that you're missing. Okay, that one, number 4, varies from people to people. But for me personally, I really like to interact in class and really ask questions about subjects that I do not understand, just because it lifts up the coursework that I need to do after classes. Also, when you ask questions, teachers tend to know your name better and want to understand who you are, and they kind of understand your trends. And if you have bad grades, for example, one time, you could reach out to them and they will know who you are, obviously. And it's really helpful, just because we tend to miss a lot of classes, obviously, and we could easily fall behind. A lot of people are not as open and carefree that I am. So it might be hard for you to do that, but I think it's really helpful, especially if you are in a hard program. Everyone should try it, to be honest. It makes the dynamic of the class more interesting because the teachers know that the students are involved in it, and obviously it makes the class so much better. But it might be for just like extroverts people like me. So my fifth and last tip would be to contact your academic advisor as soon as possible. I'm telling you, because your academic advisor, they know how your major works and how it could help you as a student athlete, because most of them has been there for a while, so they understand the systematic. And yeah, your academic advisor for your own team is very good because they can really help you reach out to your teachers and stuff. But I'm telling you, the academic advisor for your specific major is the best person to know when you're going to graduate, what classes you need to take, what classes might be easier for you to take because you're going to be missing a lot of your classes. And yeah, let's say if you didn't know that you could graduate in 3 years instead of 4, your academic advisor can spit out all those classes and let you know that you could actually. And if you only see them after your second year or third year, those are talks that you can't have with them anymore. Those were the 5 tips, five tips to be a successful student athlete. Hopefully you liked it and hope to see you again. If you have questions, as always, you can comment them down below. Please subscribe, it really goes a long way, and share with your friends. This platform is really to help, like, obviously you, the listeners. So I really think that the more you guys interact with me is like going to be the best. And yeah, bye.